3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks. Hi, sweet people. It's Rosie from A Rosy Life on Joyful Acres, or NanaRose349, just when I'm hanging on YouTube. And I wanted to give you an update. I started 3 weeks ago on a plan to make some changes in my life, including weight, health, just get myself in a better place. And so I'm wanting to do at least a weekly update to hold myself accountable and to hopefully keep myself on track, but hopefully maybe inspire you as well. I am down 13.8 pounds after 3 weeks. I'm so happy. And again, I'm still not going to tell you what I'm doing until I make it a month. When I've made it a month, then I'll let you know what I'm doing. But I'm just feeling so good. My sister's on the same plan. She's feeling great. We both have more energy than we've had in a long, long time. And we're both seeing significant changes in our health. She is for sure having to get new glasses because her eyesight's improving. And it appears mine's doing the same thing, although I haven't been to the optometrist yet. I want to wait a little bit longer because I don't want to get in and get new glasses and then it improve some more and then have to get more new glasses. Can't really afford to do that, but so I'm going to wait it out for a little bit. But my sister's optometrist told her that he thinks she very well may not need glasses at all after she goes another month or two. He's going to check her again. She also has some cataracts, as do I. And he said once she gets rid of those cataracts and if her vision is still improving, she probably won't need glasses at all. And I'm hoping for the same thing. So we'll see. Her blood sugar levels are down in the normal range. Everything seems to be doing so much better in terms of her health. My blood sugar's been great. My blood pressure's been great. I have been on three blood pressure medications. I'm off of 2 of those so far. It's been 3 days so far. I'm just monitoring it closely and we'll see how that goes. But I'm hoping I get off all 3 of them. But I'm on one diabetes medication that I take twice a day. And I am now taking that only in the morning. And my blood sugar has been terrific. So these changes have been wonderful. My youngest daughter said last night, "Mom, I can't remember the last time that you have felt well for so long." And it's just really exciting stuff. But I don't want to drag this video out because my daughter from New York is coming in today. Got to pick her up at the airport at midnight tonight. I hope I can stay awake. But she's coming down and I've got all the, oh my gosh, company's coming, cleaning that I've got to get finished up. I'll be glad. One of these days I'm going to get to a point where it's like, oh, you just came into town? Sure, come on over. I don't have to worry about what my house looks like. Come on, it's spotless. Just come on in. Maybe that'll happen, maybe not. But I also know there are other things I want to spend time doing, not just cleaning house. So that's that situation. So that's all going well. And I wanted to just share a quick story with you. My dad died in 1980 something. I don't know what. He was 53 or 54 years old. He'd always been a heavy alcoholic, heavy smoker. So it was really, and he would never go to the doctor. So it was really no shock when he died. We think he may have had cirrhosis of the liver, but my mom wouldn't let them do an autopsy. And family's so dysfunctional. It's hilarious because Dad was very abusive. Mom and Dad both were, but Daddy also would beat my mother, not just us kids. And so when he died, she's like, oh, I don't want them cutting him up. And I'm thinking, I'll do it. You know, I just couldn't understand the logic in that. It's like, you know, what's the, oh, poor thing, he's been so good to us. I can't stand the thoughts. So anyway, when he died, of course, there was no preparation. They never prepared for anything, didn't own a home. They were living down in Florida, had come up to visit my sister to pick up her son to take him down to spend the weekend or the summer with them. So they had come up to North Carolina, and he passed away in my sister's living room while she was at work. So, of course, there was no life insurance. My mom didn't work. She was too young for retirement. My dad didn't have any kind of pension because he'd never kept a job very long. So whatever things had to happen, we knew my sister and I would end up paying for that. The two brothers weren't in a position to be able to do anything, so we knew it would be us paying to get her moved back to North Carolina, which we knew she would want to do because all the family was here. So we didn't have a plot to bury him. We didn't have, and of course he didn't go to church, so there was no church plot. Didn't have the money for funeral expenses, so we decided we needed to have him cremated. And so we had him cremated. We had just a little short viewing at the funeral home before they took him in to cremate him. No casket, anything like that, just really bare bones. That sounded awful. Bare minimum. So we had the funeral. My sister cried, my mom cried. I didn't cry. I just looked at him and thought, well, you won't hurt anybody else again. But I did cry because my sister and my mom were hurting, so that was kind of hard. But other than that, I just thought, okay, clean slate, we move forward. So my sister and I were going to rent a U-Haul, go down and get Mom's things, whatever little bit she still had down in Florida, drive them back, load them up, drive them back in a U-Haul, and get her set up in a little house that we'd found. We rented a little house for her till she could get a job. So, you know, Mom did pretty well. There was some crying, you know, for a few days afterwards, but I think she probably had a sense of relief too that, you know, that battle was over with him. So before I went back, I was living on the West Coast, and so I had flown out to be here when my sister called and said that he had died. So while we were waiting to decide how to handle things going forward, the mailman came one day, and there was a cardboard box about, I don't know, maybe 6 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches. And it was from the crematorium. And so I thought, oh, we better not let Mom know that's here. It might get her upset. So I took the package, we put it back in my sister's closet. And we're morbid curiosity. And so we went in later after Mom was busy doing something. And we opened it up because we wanted to see what it looked like. I'd never seen ashes. And then we were trying to decide what to do with his ashes. So I suggested that we take them over and scatter them in the parking lot at the liquor store, because that was his favorite place in the world to be, was at the liquor store getting liquor. And of course, nobody really wanted to do that. Probably would have been illegal, I don't know. But my brother was also living in Florida, and my dad had been a long-distance truck driver most of the time when he did work, and my brother was a long-distance truck driver. So he said, this is a brother 2 years younger than I, he said, if you two will bring them down when you come down, I'll take them out on the route that Daddy traveled, and I'll scatter them along the road where he traveled. So we're thinking, okay, that's fine. And so we took them down. We put them in the trunk of the car. That was an experience, driving along. We joked about maybe it would be safe to pick up hitchhikers, because we could say, now you better be good, because we've got our dad in the trunk. And they would just think we're crazy, so, you know, there'd be no problem. But of course, we talk big and don't do anything most of the time. We drove on down to Florida. Turned out to be just an absolute waste. My mother didn't have 2 dishes that matched. Their bed was wired together with coat hangers. We ended up pretty much throwing everything out. I'm trying to think if there was even one piece of furniture. I'm sure there were a couple of things that I'm just not remembering correctly. But I would call Mom and I'd say, okay, Mom, you know, we're going to buy you a new set of dishes. I'm going to put these out in the alley behind her house for the garbage to pick up. Is that okay? Yes. If there was something she absolutely wanted saved, she'd let us know. So we ended up eventually dumping most of the house out in that alley, and there was somebody who must have lived around there that he must have thought he'd hit the lottery, because he was coming down and taking everything we would sit out. So anyway, we got it all taken care of, got home, left my dad in his cardboard box with my brother. And there are things when you grow up being abused that you just think, you know, your parents don't love you because they're the ones abusing you. You think none of the other family know what's going on, aunts and uncles and stuff, because they didn't like to come around because of his drinking. And I didn't dare tell them what was happening. So you just start thinking, you know, nobody loves me. I must not be a very good person. And for a long time, I just felt like even God couldn't love me. I'm not a lovable person. So you start hoping as you get a little older that karma will happen, and that people who are cruel or unkind or, you know, whatever, that the bad people are going to get what they deserve. And that never seemed to happen, you know, with my dad, or with my mom, I guess. But anyway, I soon learned that, well, not soon, but I learned that karma doesn't always happen in this life. But it did with my dad. My brother called a few days later and told us that he had taken Daddy's ashes and was going along a certain highway in Florida where Daddy drove. And he opened the box, the cardboard box with his ashes in it, and he held it out the truck window and was letting the ashes blow along, thinking they would just scatter along the highway. Well, a truck went by from the other direction. My brother's in a truck going this direction. The gust of wind caught the box, ripped it right out of my brother's hand. He said he looked up in his mirror to see Daddy's box of ashes land in the middle of the highway and a cloud of ash come up, and then it was run over by another semi and just ashes everywhere. Karma can happen. It can happen in this lifetime. I just always thought that was very appropriate. And I know that's irreverent, and I'm sorry. If you've got a good mom and dad, oh, treasure them, love them, hug them. But not everybody has that. Consider yourself very, very blessed. But that's just one of the goofy stories in the big city or the little country, whatever. So I'm going to take off, get some things done before my daughter comes in tonight. And at least I've reported for duty, and I'm getting there. I really am. Things are getting better. Things are looking up. At 73, things are looking up. All right. Bye-bye, sweet people. Love and hugs till next time.